get started. Perfect. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda. If this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can get a notification every single time that I post a video, and I post every single week. As you can see on the title, on today's video, I'm going to be giving you my full review with spoilers on this 7th episode of American Horror Story double feature or season 10, Death Valley, that is part 2. Now we are remaining with this one. There were 4, but now we're 3 remaining episodes of season 10, and we're going on the Death Valley, that is part 2, and it's supposed to be about aliens. So it's the episode that aired yesterday, so right, I'm here, I'm going to be giving you my review. As always, all my reviews are with spoilers, but if you don't want them just to see what it's about, if it's worth watching or not, description box down below, there you're going to find the link to my blog where all my reviews are spoiler free, because I like to give you guys the 2 options. So giving a little disclaimer ahead, let's get into the video. The first episode of part 2, Death Valley, it was called Take Me to Your Leader. Now basically we're going back in time to the 1954. Basically start in New Mexico. We have this woman that she's cooking, and she's having the time of her life cooking with music and everything, and her son is outside playing when suddenly a tornado appears and basically takes the children away. But we don't see him like flying or something, but he just disappeared. And suddenly the music like goes backwards and everything goes a little bit weird, and this is basically like what it cuts, and then the husband appears and the whole house is a mess, and the wife, she's levitating. She has her eyes closed, and when she opened them they're full like white, and she basically just like do this and explodes the man's head. And that's basically it. And then we go to the intro credits, which they look pretty cool. I really like it, the design and what they're showing. They are also on black and whites. And after this, we go to Palm Springs, California, still in 1954, with now the president of the United States of this time. That it was President Dwight Eisenhower. Now he's playing golf, and suddenly he's like, "President, we have an emergency." And he gets the call and he goes to the place, and basically there's like a plane crash, and there's a woman like behind some bushes, and it's no other than Lily Rabe's character, Amelia Earhart. Now the place of the crash, it had some kind of alien like something happening there, so of course this is where the president was lived there, because it was something that had to do with aliens. Now in case you don't know, Amelia Earhart, who was declared dead on January of 1939, she was the first woman aviator to do a trip by herself, and on one of those trips she went missing, and her body was never found, not her airplane, nothing. So of course many theories has come across which what happened to her, and one of them is that she was abducted by aliens. And this is kind of what they're showing on the episode. She's taken to an observation room, and she's talking with the president, and she's like, no, the president is Franklin Roosevelt, which was back in the 30s. So of course she has no idea what time she is or what has happened. She even has some marks on her back, and she said that they made them with needles, making them seem as as the aliens were experimenting with her. And when they found her, they found another body on where the thing crashed, and it was an alien. Now they open it up, and it has like a shelf on the inside, like it looks empty. And when one of the doctors is doing this, something jumps and like drives on the face, kind of resembling a little bit to alien, just a little. And then of course their heads explode. They need to take the president away, and when suddenly a nurse, she's levitating on the hallway just like the wife at the beginning, she does this and she explodes someone's head. And the president is like, whatever you're doing, just stop and just leave. Like, he's trying to be really pacific, and she's like, take me to your leader. And in my mind I was like, well, technically you're talking to him, he's the president of the United States. But yeah, and basically that's when it cuts, and we went to some commercials, and then we returned. We're now on the present, and I was expecting to see a little bit more of the 1950s, but I guess we're going to be seeing them later. So then we have this group of 4 friends. One of them is actually portrayed by Kaya Gerber, which we saw previously on American Horror Stories on episode 1, 2, and the 7th one. And but here of course is a really different character. Now, basically, these four friends are reuniting after being in college for summer, having a good time, and they went to this, I would say, looks kind of an Airbnb, and they want to like camp on the middle of nowhere, and they are having a good time. They're supposed to go to a pond, and when they go, nothing is there, but something smells like something is dead. And they keep walking, and they found a lot of cows that are cut in half, but not like from here, but rather from here, like they're sliced, but there's no blood, so it's pretty weird. Kaya Gerber's character, she kind of gets closer and touches one of the cows and opens the eye. Of course, they get scared and they decide to leave. So they get into the car, and it's actually by now it's by night, and they eventually came across on the road with a huge light. We don't see what they're seeing. And one of the girls of the group, she takes her head out of the window, but she leaves it open, and something grabs her from behind and is like choking her. And they went like full black, like they just black out. And when they wake up, she's all still in the car, and the friend is like on the middle of the road. She's like standing. They take her and they leave to where they were staying. The next day, they're feeling really sick, and they both decide to take some pregnancy tests. They appear positive, and they do a lot. Like they don't do just one or two, but they do a lot. And the two guy friends, they are feeling really sick too. So Kaya's Gerber character is like, you should do a pregnancy test too. They do it, and they all came out positive. And basically, the end of the episode, it's all for them looking at each other, and that's it. That's it. Like the episode, it was with the commercials and everything an hour. So we could say that the whole episode was like half an hour. Was really fast, really simple, didn't give much details. It left me wanting more to watch of the 1950s rather from the present. Like the whole chunk of the present day felt like it was an extension of American Horror Stories. I don't know, I felt like it a little bit dumb, like no interesting at all. I don't know, on the episode, like it wasn't shocking. It wasn't like the first episode of Red Tide that the end it was like, what? I need to wait till next week. Here's like, seriously, that was the best you can think of? Like four of them pregnant? I don't know. It felt, I wouldn't say out of place, but definitely it felt, but definitely it didn't feel like strong as the first of part one. I think that part one left the bar a little bit too high, well, except from the ending. So it's going to be a little bit hard to top it. But at the same time, I think that if you're doing something on that quality, the last thing that you can do is continue the quality, don't go down. You already went down with the ending, which was a disaster. And now you're doing this, which is a theme that people have been asking for so many years. Specifically after it was the aliens had only been on American Horror Story Universe by a brief moment because of Kid Walker on asylum, because he was adopted by them, but that was it. There wasn't something more specific about them. So of course having finally aliens here is really exciting, but in this way, no so much. The reality is that, like I said, there are only 3 episodes left, so there's no much that they can do about this story. But at the same time, I don't know, I just don't feel motivated to, I'm just watching. I'm gonna keep watching it because I am already way too invested. But if not, I will just leave it like half, because seriously, this one wasn't it. So if you want to continue watching American Horror Story, you're more than welcome. But the reality is that this episode wasn't like worth it at all. You can just watch it next week if you please, and then watch the other one. But seriously, this wasn't a well good start for part 2. And well, this is all for the video. Like I told, it was really short because it was really simple and they don't really give much details or something. So that was it. Yeah. So yeah, I am just listening. So let me know in the comments if you have already watched it, you're planning on it, you're not going to watch part 2. And yeah, that's basically it. I have even nothing else to say because the reality is that it was just blah, nothing else. Well, this is all for the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to see you guys on the next one. Bye!